Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical and Mason here. I don't know if you can see him, he's sitting right next to me here. Hope everybody's doing good. If you are offended by foul language, please leave the channel and don't ever come back. I wanted to take this time as I get ready to take him for his daily swim to talk about a subject that's big here in the US. It's come and gone throughout the years, but the liberals, the Democrats, the left, they're making it a big thing again, trying to get the votes of black people in America. And as the title probably gave away, talking about reparations. Like the title says, and I'll start there and then I'll move backwards, but look, and I've said this in other videos, man, but it's been a while. Anytime the subject comes up with reparations, I always say this: the reparations have been paid in full. Nobody owes anybody anything for slavery. And when somebody wants to ask me, well, how were they paid? Look, if you're an African American, your payment for the suffering that your ancestors endured, the horrific suffering, that's Mason because he needs a seatbelt on. Shut up. The payment is that you're living in the best country on the planet. And if you don't agree with that this is the best country on the planet, you're free to leave it. That's the kind of freedom that your ancestors didn't have. You can come and go as you choose. You can rise to the highest level, all the way up to the White House, as that loser Obama, who had the first chance to be the most historic black figure in world history by uniting people, instead opted to do what his slave handlers, the Democrats, instructed him to do, and that's divide us even further, make the racial problem even worse than it is. So you've already been paid, all right? Now, if you want to get down to the details about reparations and how and who would get paid, first of all, my question to you is, what do I owe you? And there's millions like me. Okay, I have absolute documented proof that there was not one single person related to me by blood who was ever in North America during slavery, during the Civil War, or during the slaughter of the Indians. None of that. We didn't come here until we were escaping our own shit, which was the Holocaust in Europe. So why should my tax dollars go to pay anybody? And speaking of the Holocaust, if you weren't directly affected by something, a lot of people, they say, well, what do you want, Mike? You want us to just get over it? That's you white people always wanting us to get over it. And here's my answer. Yeah, get the fuck over it. Get over it. You weren't there and I wasn't there, so shut the fuck up. That's the short answer. The long answer is this. When I found out I was being transferred to Germany, my grandfather, rest in peace, a very good man who lost brothers and sisters and grandparents in the Holocaust, not brothers and sisters, but his grandparents is in the Holocaust, and was very, very bitter his whole life about that, understandably so. He calls me up and he says, hey, Michael, you're going to be going to Germany. Don't you ever forget what those people did to our people. Never forget that. And I said, sure, Grandpa. And I went over there and I was banging German chicks like they were going out of style, and I was engaged to marry one. It was very easy for me to set that shit aside. Because what is holding on to that shit gonna... Now, I'm not saying forget it. I don't think we should forget the Holocaust, and I don't think we should forget slavery, and I don't think we should forget the both sides of the Civil War. I don't think we should banish flags and tear down statues. Things happen when countries are developing, and they're not always the right thing. But look, my wife actually came up with an idea. We were talking about this, and for those of you that don't know, she's Vietnamese and saw her country destroyed by communism. Since the people that actually deserve the reparations are not here anymore, we ought to put up a very huge monument, a beautiful monument that reflects that tragedy in time and honors those people. Talking about African slaves that were in America. But asking for money when you haven't done a fucking thing and had nothing to do with that incident it's so low class that people that ask for that money and think that that's going to solve the problem are too stupid to understand how stupid that is. That's just the fucking reality of it. All right? I mean, as if, let's just assume that we gave every black person in America $10,000 each and said, we're sorry. Do you think that that's the end of it? That there's suddenly blacks and whites are going to live in harmony? And the blacks won't feel like they got fucked over or they're being held back? Look, man, here's another reality that many just don't want to embrace. The people pushing for reparations, in most cases, are white people. And they're white people who have the same agenda that white liberals have always had, which is to use the blacks and the minorities in this country for votes. So you get Elizabeth Warren, the fake Indian, who profited in her life and achieved things on the backs of real American Indians, Native Americans. And she's up there talking about it's time to have a real conversation about reparations because she wants your votes. Just like the Clintons wanted your votes. Just like Joe Biden, who thought that Obama was unusual because he was a clean, well-spoken black man. Which should have told all of you black people that he apparently thinks that the majority of blacks are not clean and not educated and well-spoken. And yet there's many blacks that'll vote for that cocksucker. You know? Black people in America are so easily manipulated, it scares me sometimes. I don't want to believe that there's so many fucking ignorant people, but holy fuck. You got, you know, Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton who attended the funeral of the Grand Wizard of the KKK and, hang on a second. Yeah, you see my plate? No, I'll let you look at the back one and I'll slow down so you can see it. So anyways, I don't have to pay to come in here, and this guy's some new dude. Because I got special privileges, man, because I know people. Sorry about that, but what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, this fucking Grand Wizard of the KKK was Hillary Clinton's fucking mentor. And yet there's still black people who righteously call Trump a racist, believe he's a racist because that's what they're told to believe. Excuse me, I'm making a video. And there's always a black guy fucking up my video. Come on, man. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, how can you be a black person in America and look in the mirror, knowing what you know about the left, and support the left? How is that fucking possible? You know? Oh shit, this fucking squirrel almost committed suicide. Did I get it? Poor guy must have been terribly depressed. He looked like he was waiting for me. He just jumped right out there. Don't worry, little buddy, it'll get better. Yeah, man, it's hard to keep my train of thought doing this shit, but while I'm driving. But look, fuck reparations, okay? If everybody in the world whose relatives or ancestors got fucked over needed reparations, all we do is spend the next 2,000 years paying each other. Your payment is you live in America. Now do something with it and don't squander it. How would your ancestors, talking about African Americans, how would those slaves who toiled in the fields right where I'm at, I'm on former slave property right this second, and in fact I'm getting ready to pass an area where there was the tobacco fields. The slaves worked this land and dreamed of freedom and lived and died terribly in most cases. How would they feel if they were able to look in the future and see your ass slinging fucking cocaine, drinking fucking 8-ball, and complaining about how you ain't got no fucking freedom? You need to ask yourself, what are you doing with the fucking freedom that they dreamed about? Are you making your life better? Are you living the life that they dreamt about? Or are you fucking sitting around crying that somebody owes you shit because somehow free shit is so cool and that's gonna solve your fucking problems? Have some self-respect. And yeah, I know you're not gonna. It sucks when a fucking white dude's telling a black person something because, man, you don't live in my skin. How the hell you gonna know? Because I'm fucking smart enough to be able to empathize. That's why. All right. And if you fucking have one living brain cell, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. You don't have to like me, but just listen to my words and think about it. Anyways, that's it. That's my fucking take on reparations. Oh, and by the way, if we ever do pay reparations, I want reparations for all the fucking bikes that were stolen from me and all the shit that happened to me when I was growing up in Inglewood, California. All right, because it wasn't easy being a pink redhead in Inglewood, and I got fucking righteous fucking damage from that. So I lived it. I want my money. That's gonna make me happy. Fucking unbelievable. Fuck reparations. You already got them. LMS Tactical, I'm out. You guys stay safe.